Hello friends, how is it going? Welcome back to Total Maintenance YouTube channel. In different video you met Izaak and his new purchase, and we did immediately engine oil and filter change. Today Izaak came for a different reason. What is it, Izaak?
Well guys, so I want to change, or not change, but expect my car out and see what's wrong with it. There was an engine light on it, and I want to see what is going on with that.
When Izaak recently bought this vehicle, there were no check engine lines. The previous owner correctly smog it for the new owner, as the law says here in California. So it was a surprise when, after only a few days of Izaak driving his new 4Runner, the check engine light came on. So let's go and see. Hopefully it's not a problem with catalytic converter. That will be a big bummer, big expense. But let's go and see. Let's be open-minded. Let's go and see what is happening with the vehicle. Drives normally, right? There are no problems. Okay, cool. Let's go and see. Izaak already learned how to get the codes from the computer. Let's see if he remembers actually how it's supposed to be done. So we agreed you will borrow my scanner. This is the simple one, right? What is it? Some kind of Craftsman,
Yeah,
right?
it's a Craftsman. Yeah.
So you will borrow that. And I hope you will remember how to carefully plug this connector into the vehicle's OBD2 port, right?
Yeah.
So go for it, Izaak.
Right. So now,
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah. You want to see where it is, right?
Yeah. Now this side.
And we said it needs to be careful because the pin's in it, right?
Right.
Good job. It's his first time, so be patient, please. He's just learning it. He knows how to do it, but he doesn't do it every day, so. Is it fitting?
Got it on.
Okay, cool. So what are the next steps? What do we gotta do?
So now, since the light is blue.
Oh yeah, it became blue, right? So it got electricity from the car's battery.
Turn that
It
light
got
off.
a juice.
Blind you guys, and then
And what you will do?
we will put the key into the ignition.
And turn it in the what position?
Ignition.
Aha, nice. I can see it's actually on. There's that cycling of the locks. And what is the last step? Because it still doesn't tell us anything,
You
right?
gotta hold the button.
Push it. And that's it. Don't hold it. Oh, look how quickly it came.
Ooh.
So let me borrow it from you, if you don't mind. I'm not sure if the screen and glare will allow it, but I'm reading P0306. It's a 01 code out of 01, so it's only one code in the entire computer. And this is for cylinder 6 misfire detected. And that's interesting because Izaak thinks the vehicle drives normally, there are no problems with the idle or the power and so on. So we are here for inspection, but let's dedicate a little bit more time to that P0306. So will you be so kind, Izaak, and open the engine hood, and we will look together around if we can see immediately something obvious. Very nice, thank you, Izaak.
No problem.
And what you don't know, you are learning. We already discussed together that you bought the correct engine. If it was the previous 3 liter, it will be no good. But you have, right here, 3.4 liter V6 engine, which are really good engines in general. And that should be running good. Now, you are learning. Where do you think is the spark plug number 6 or cylinder number 6 on this engine? What do you think? Just a guess.
Let's see. I think it's.
I don't expect you knowing it.
It's right about there.
How the heck you know that?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
These are the valve covers.
Well, yeah, so you are right. This is a number, right? 1, 3, 5. And here on this side, there are cylinders number 2, 4, and 6. So, let's bring the light again, which is in the cabin, I believe. And let's start looking if we have some cable disconnected or what is going on here. And what we do immediately and how we start is looking for some obvious. Maybe the wire is disconnected. Maybe we will see the sparks shooting from the incorrect insulation. We can follow it to the other side. We know there are 3 coils right here, and it's such an unusual design. There are 3 wires for spark plugs going around. So one of them could be bad. The coil should be good because it's applying also the other.
The wire's in there.
Yeah, is it there? Can you push on it? If maybe they didn't push it all the way in, well, there will be the one in the back, right?
Yeah.
If it will click, that means it was not pushed all the way in.
The
Try
little
that.
cap thingy. Let's see.
And if it's pushed, it will not go. It will not click. That's fine.
Well, where should I push?
On the top of that rubber.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be it was all the way in. Yeah. It might be bad spark plug also, so we don't know. I'm wondering if it's really idling correctly. We can hear that number 6. So we open the shop and Izaak will start it up.
Tell me when.
You can anytime. What do you think, everybody? I will say perfectly sounding 5EZFE. This idle is definitely very smooth. I will look up the freeze frame data on that code when it was recorded under what conditions, but this engine doesn't seem to be any problem, definitely. So we will go ahead with our all-around inspection instead of just digging into this item immediately in the beginning. But that sounds great to me. Even looking on the live data on the engine RPM, it says it's a 819, 820, somewhere there, which is actually just perfect idle. I always start from the left to the right. I start in the engine and go from the left to the right. So let's see what Izaak thinks of his engine air filter. We put the light there. I believe he knows how to inspect that.
Yeah, let's see here. You open up this little guy.
Yeah.
And you take it, you gotta pull it forward.
Yeah.
And then pull it up.
Oh, look at that. Might be even hard to tell, but that might be even Toyota item. We can actually, instead of, show me the other side, please. Because this is so-called clean side. So that's perfectly clean, I will say so. I will say carefully you can use the vacuum, which is right there, and just really quickly vacuum this side, so-called dirty side. Because if you look here, Izaak, there is a bunch of leaves, right? So carefully go over it with vacuum and we will install it back.
Right.
We can also, when we will have vacuum, we will clean this box too. What do you think? Did it improve a little bit? Do you consider it making it better with the vacuum?
Yeah, definitely made a difference. There's not a mosquito in the air filter, so we'll put it.
Yeah, and you know how to put it back?
Yeah, just gotta right in there.
Yeah, it looks like it's perfect.
Awesome. That pulleys back. Catch it on.
Yep.
There we go.
The clips are perfectly in the place, they're not broken off, so that's good. Good job. We did a little improvement. So being on the left side, I already looked on the power steering fluid quality. It's pretty nasty inside, it's brown, so we will write down that this power steering fluid should be flushed and replaced with a brand new one. So I have removed that air intake pipe to see the craziness. So this is all full of oil, so the MAF sensor needs to be clean, we know that clearly. Now removing that air intake pipe shows all of you that this has a heavy valve cover engine oil leak. This valve cover is supposed to be silver. If we look on the bottom there, on these bolts, they are soaked into the oil. Everything this is showing that heavy valve cover gasket oil leak. So this engine we will be writing down on an inspection. It needs valve cover gasket job. Also look inside of the throttle body, how this is dirty. So everything needs to be cleaned, maintained and taken care of. Here we have a automatic transmission fluid dipstick. So we will pull that out and check the condition of the fluid. For that automatic transmission fluid, when I check it, I on purpose don't use gloves because it's way better see the fluid on the fingers. So what I will do, I will take the dipstick and then swipe it between the fingers, and this is not the worst actually, but it has that black residue, and if you use the rag or gloves you will not see it. I see clearly that the black residue on the fingers, so eventually it should be also serviced. However, I don't see it as one of the first items on the list. That can wait. Somebody was forcing it in. It's already bent. People don't pay attention. So that dipstick needs to be straightened. So it actually can correctly show the levels at the end. When it's bent here, it's misreading. Okay, not bad. Part of inspection always will be checking the spark plugs if they are correct ones. You all are aware of this note which is right here, which is kind of interesting. Basically what it says, you have to have a spark plugs with 2 electrodes, 2 grounds basically. So let's go remove randomly one. This one is the easiest, so let's take it out and see in what condition, what shape and what kind of spark plugs are there. So I always remove this wire. Izaak is paying attention, he will be doing later by himself. Obviously original coils, nice Toyota. That's a 10 millimeter. I will unscrew to get the coil out. So the 10 millimeter will go really quickly out. Here we go. And Izaak is learning and watching. And that gives me a chance, hopefully, to pull the coil out. I'm looking if there is any oil leaking inside or not. This one is not flooded. The rubber seems to be in the good shape. However, maybe it's a rust in the spark plug tube. We will see. So this one goes on the side and we will remove the spark plug. I really wonder what is inside. So these are the normal large spark plugs, 5/8 deep socket, spark plug socket, not using any power tools. How tight it is. Oh, that was pretty tight. I think within reasonability, but it was tighter than I normally feel. We also are looking all around. What we didn't mention, there is a Toyota sticker for timing belt at 93,999 miles. So that's obviously, if it's only that time done, the timing belt is way too old and that should be scheduled. So let's see what will come out. Oh, Izaak, you are lucky. Do you see these two tips?
Yeah.
These are correct. It's unfortunately NGK, but it's a NGK BKR 5EKB11. These are, ladies and gentlemen, correct twin tip spark plugs. Will the camera show it right here? I'm afraid there will be a problem with focus. Oh yeah, do you see it? We got correct twin tip. Come on, baby. Yeah, everybody can see it, hopefully. Izaak will show us how he will check his cooling fan clutch. Let's see if he knows how to inspect and test his cooling fan clutch, which the fan is right there.
So here's the clutch. If this is really bad, this will keep spinning if you if you pull it. But there's some resistance here, so it's all right.
Well, very good. I love that knowledge. This is awesome. All three drive belts, which are down there, they seem to be in the decent condition. There are no cracks. The tension seems to be pretty okay for now. So also these doesn't have to be replaced. Good. So Izaak discovered that he has a green coolant in the radiator and the level was barely above the L as a low. So he's right now adding, nice, and watching the level to rise towards to the F in the expansion tank, and he will have at least correct level of the coolant. The coolant should be red, Toyota, but for vehicle with this miles, this age and so on, that should be fine for now. What do you think? Did you get it there?
Let's see, maybe a little bit more.
While we are at these kind of fluids, Izaak discovered where his windshield wiper reservoir is, and he will top it with just a plain water for now. Here we can see maybe one more time a detail of those leaks on those valve covers. It's going down on the exhaust, so there will be a problem with the smell. We just tested the battery. The battery tested good. This positive terminal was not correctly installed, so we fixed that. And the last item, if you look in the engine bay, we are reaching the other side, is the brake fluid. Looking at it, what do you say, my friend? Is that brake fluid good or bad? Well, let's go open it. What do you say, Izaak?
I would say it looks pretty good.
Okay, well, let's see what you think. And what I see, it's completely black fluid, which is supposed to be transparent. So I don't want to be an ass and proving you wrong, but that's okay. You are learning, right? You can see it, right? That fluid is black, basically, right? Dark green, black, right? Will you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So you just learned something. It's opposite of good. It's very bad, and it should be flushed. The whole system should be flushed. So we went all together from the left to the right in the engine bay. Now will be time to put the vehicle up on the lift and continue there. We don't have a time for it today. Also, video will be too long, so we will cut it right here. What do you think, Izaak? What's the shape of your baby, your 4Runner?
Well, my baby 4Runner, it is in decent shape right now. It is not the best, but it can use improvement. There has to be some cleaning done to it. But other than that, it is really good condition.
I agree with you. You are not an expert on cars. You might become one soon. But I will say the same words. It's pretty decent, considering how old it is and how high mileage, right? 281, that's a relatively high mileage.
Yeah.
That's pretty good shape. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you hopefully in the part 2 when we will be looking underneath it. See ya.
Bye-bye.